Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It's going to be a Terran versus Zerg, but more importantly, a bot versus bot match. And I'm really excited to cast this one, as I'm not sure I've ever cast these two against each other before. It's going to be MicroMachine, the MicroMachine, taking on EvilZoe. Not just Zoe, EvilZoe, and clearly EvilZoe is doing something evil today here, as it's going to be a bit of a drone rush to start things off. Now, I don't think I've ever seen this really succeed in a bot game, so we're going to see. But there's already a couple of drones harassing on the front to try and deny any depot building. So that's an interesting play by EvilZoe. MicroMachine, I mean, if it was a human player, you'd be like, this is suspicious as heck. However, that may have just bought the time that EvilZoe needs. We shall see. It's got 73 minerals in the bank, one drone mining away, making another drone, but all of a sudden the drone drill is rolling on up. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and click that like button as fast as you can before all the workers are dead in this game. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord, leave a comment saying more bots if this is the kind of thing you enjoy, as this one goes from 0 to 100 real quick. We do have the drones actually doing pretty well. MicroMachine just elected to hide some of its SCVs inside the command center, but that's an interesting tactic to respond to this rush. I suppose it's to ensure that 5 of those workers survive, and then a Reaper is on the way. But that Reaper is going to have to kill a lot of drones at the same time. EvilZoe is incredibly committed to this, so those drones are going to have, well, that Reaper is going to have to clean up all of these drones, but once it does, it should be in a fine spot. MicroMachine makes another SCV. I'm not sure where that guy's going, as it does have a bit of minerals in the bank, so this one Reaper can just micro these drones forever, all the while EvilZoe has had to start building workers on its side of the map, and MicroMachine's mining again. So a really interesting and cool response to this drone rush. I've never seen that before. These drones would almost be better off going home at this point in the game. They do catch that Marine with their big meaty claws. That poor fellow didn't stand a chance. SCVs are now fighting drones once more. Injured ones do get pulled back and run into the command center, or at least a few of them do. Looks like those drones may get another SCV. We shall see. And they do deny some more mining time. But man, what a messy start to this game. Really cool micro on both sides, though. That Reaper finally cleans up all those drones with 8 kills. And now it can go on the other side of the map and start harassing EvilZoe. And EvilZoe could be in a bit of trouble. It got damage done with that rush, but I'm not sure it was enough, seeing as how it doesn't even have a spawning pool done. And for those of you that have tried to deal with good Reaper micro with just drones, it's not good. So EvilZoe is going to be in a bit of trouble, as one drone is already getting worked on. It has to run away. Mining is being denied, and eventually we'll have to see a spawning pool get built, but that's not going to be happening for a while, as these drones are all being softened up. Mining time is being denied heavily. Now, MicroMachine is on a very low economy on its own side of the map, but this denial of the mining is huge. EvilZoe has the money for a spawning pool. Will we see one get built? For now, though, it's just making more and more drones. This Reaper is getting so much work done for MicroMachine. It hasn't got a single drone kill yet. There's the first kill, but that's still a lot of work that has been done. This drone is actually being a hero, pulling that Reaper away from its friends. It's like, no, I'll buy time. Now build a spawning pool, EvilZoe. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. It looks like the bot is just programmed to get a hatchery from this point on. The Reaper for MicroMachine, though, after killing that drone, does go into scouting mode. Once again, bots will just do bot things and not necessarily... They will not necessarily just do the most logical thing, which would have been to keep killing drones. So interesting behavior there. EvilZoe sacks a few drones, and it works out as it gets the Reaper away. And when that Reaper goes away, it does just default to scouting behavior. So EvilZoe saving its own bacon. MicroMachine is also seemingly blocked from building any more SCVs. The bot is mining a lot of gas compared to what it's mining for minerals, and we'll see if it ever makes another worker at some point soon, but it is locking itself at 8 workers, so it's not catching up in that count. There is an eBay done. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was. It's making 1 marine at a time, moving across the map for an attack. This is going to be a little scrappy, but the spawning pool isn't done yet, so maybe MicroMachine can get something done with 7 marines. There may not be an answer for EvilZoe to deal with this. The MicroMachine is now getting an orbital command on the way, so it will have that mule money as well. It pulled some workers out of gas, so good to see that there is that smart behavior not to just keep mining gas endlessly like some bots do in tough economic situations. Okay, MicroMachine is running across the map with these 7 marines. Drones are being made for EvilZoe. There's lots of minerals. No queens have been started just yet. Now another hatchery gets fired up. 4 lings are on the way, but EvilZoe is going to have bigger fish to fry than the lack of a 3rd base. It's got the queens on the way, and 1 or 2 queens will do well against all these marines. Overlord is staying alive just barely. A couple of lings do pop out. More reinforcements are crossing the map for MicroMachine. EvilZoe just needs to keep this hatchery alive until it gets out a queen, and then it takes quite a few marines to kill a queen or 2. So that would be really helpful for EvilZoe. Lings are running all over the place. The marines have been pulled back a little bit, though, by the presence of these lings. More lings are on the way for EvilZoe. That queen is about to pop. She will be very helpful. She's gonna try and inject while also fighting these marines. The multitasking is difficult for the queens. Another queen comes on down, though. She will definitely help out against these marines. One of them goes down. There's still a big number, though. More and more lings are being made for EvilZoe. However, the marine firepower is a little bit too much. This queen, she may kill off one of those marines. No, she doesn't. She softens one up, but doesn't kill it. And so EvilZoe is having a bit of a tough time. No ling speed is done yet, and that's really problematic. The broodlings will pop out of this hatchery and help clean up these marines, but EvilZoe would definitely have preferred having that natural base up. At least it does have the 3rd. And now it's getting out a lot of lings, and ling speed is about to finish up, so there is going to be some counterattack potential. I think these marines are not long for this world. Speed is about to finish up here, and those lings will close the distance so much better. This is a really great bot match we're seeing so far. I am very glad I clicked on this replay. MicroMachine 6 speedlings won't save you, my friend. EvilZoe says, okay, boomer. That is kind of fitting, seeing as how MicroMachine is one of the older bots, I believe. Now, MicroMachine's still only on 1 base. It's mining with mules, but its economy has had a long road ahead of it to come back. So no natural base just yet. At the same time, EvilZoe is only on 2 bases. Tank Siege is up, however. Poor timing on that. We've got a Cyclone, some Marines out to deal with all these lings. The Hellion will be big as far as helping out, but oh man, the lings, they do get repelled just barely. EvilZoe doing the math, deciding to retreat. That could have saved MicroMachine, actually. The fact that EvilZoe did retreat 20 lings against that, I think the lings could have done okay. Now, EvilZoe is rebuilding that natural base, so that's important. MicroMachine still just 1 basing it. It's pulling some SCVs down. I'm not sure if that's to repair the Hellion or what. Yeah, so MicroMachine is still in a bit of a tough spot, as EvilZoe will be that 3-base Zerg in a relatively short amount of time, and then as long as it doesn't commit to just not many units, the lings let that Reaper survive. I'm not sure why that was. A very lucky Reaper. Command Center is now on the way for MicroMachine. Looks like 1 ling will find it, but then perish. All the while, roaches are on the way for EvilZoe. This really is one of the best bot games I've seen in a while. A couple of lings do try and catch that Reaper. They let it go again, though. We are seeing Cloak being researched for MicroMachine. MicroMachine has incredible Banshee micro and can always get damage done with like a single unit. So we'll see if that's going to be its ticket back into this game or not. EvilZoe's natural base is now done, though. Queens can start spreading that creep, injecting that hatchery. MicroMachine will have +1 as well on its small number of Marines. Although while EvilZoe also getting out Burrow, that's going to be really helpful. I think the Zerg is in quite a commanding position this match. I mean, as time goes on, Terran bots can be pretty good in the late game. MicroMachine has incredible depth and macro, so maybe it can win out there, but it's definitely behind after this incredibly convoluted opening. An Evo chamber is on the way for EvilZoe, and that hatchery is now turning into a lair, so we can potentially see some roach upgrades going there. A couple of queens are selected to attack the rocks, funnily enough. Interesting attacking behavior there. Rock does die, and the Lings head on out. Now, we are seeing the first Banshee move on in for MicroMachine, and as far as detection goes, there's actually nothing for EvilZoe. That Banshee does get spotted. Immediately, some Spore Crawlers do start building at the natural and the third, and the drones can just stay alive because of burrowing away from that Banshee. Queens are tanking some shots. Now a Spore is building in the main, and that lair finishes up, so will we see an Overseer anytime soon? That's the question. No Overseer just yet, so that is problematic. These queens are being killed off. EvilZoe getting harassed by this Banshee. Now an Overseer starts morphing. I'm not sure what the delay was, maybe just gas or something. But still, even losing 2 queens to this Banshee is not that much damage. Looks like it does get a drone. Maybe another couple more drones, but Overseer's done. Queens can chase. Another Banshee is coming on in. But EvilZoe is now going up to 4 bases. Heavy Zerg production. MicroMachine is still on 2 bases. It's got its fancy gas mining going, but it is down on the economy by quite a significant margin. Looks like these queens are going to shoot away. At that Banshee. MicroMachine is building into a fairly powerful Terran ground army, so there is the possibility that it can make a push happen. I mean, it's MicroMachine, so it's going to micro its units well, but whether that's going to be enough to overcome the amount of stuff that the Zerg is able to make. Lots of roaches can be produced here, and taking on roaches with just a little bit of bio is not that easy. More Banshees are coming into the main base. Trying to kill some of these drones. No queens really are reacting just yet, but there comes in a queen. Transfuses the extractor to keep that alive. EvilZoe showing us that it is a bot with some pretty darn good redundancy, which I suppose is what allows it to get away with going for cheeky drone rush builds. We're now seeing the Zerg actually look to the offensive here, and that's actually really good for MicroMachine. If EvilZoe attacks on in, the defender's advantage will help it out a lot. And EvilZoe does have times in which it will just commit to an attack but then back out pretty much immediately. So there is a chance that EvilZoe will just go in, lose some units, and then run away, basically. An SCV trying to build that command center is not going to have success. We are seeing some tanks get some big shots off, and that does push EvilZoe away. Some Ravagers getting caught, and wow, EvilZoe losing a lot of units here. Some roaches do burrow to stay alive, a couple more at least bait out a scan, but that was a great trade for MicroMachine. Tunneling Claws is done, so these roaches can burrow and escape, pulling some of MicroMachine's attention. We do see the Terran bot, though, getting out a Raven. That will really help it out. MicroMachine is not a bot, I think, that's historically struggled too much with burrowed units. Incredible tracking on this burrowed roach as well. Just must be using some visual cues or something. I don't actually know how that programming works, but it does track the burrowed roach, so it can tell where it's going, even though from MicroMachine's vision, it is just that little blur. So I wonder if there's anything in the API that allows bots to do that, or if that's just something the bot author of MicroMachine came up with. Either way, incredible behavior. The red Terran is now moving out on the map with a significant supply lead. A very scary army. 2-2 is about well, is relatively close to finishing up for EvilZoe. That's going to be mighty important, as these roaches and hydras will have to deal with all this Terran. The 2-2 is actually going to be monumental for this defense. Hydra range about to finish up 2. That's going to be big. And there is even a couple of infestors out. So the pressure is on MicroMachine. While this is going on, though, it's showing us its incredible macro. All of a sudden, that third base is up and saturated. So it does have a bit more longevity in this game. Queens and Hydras are dealing with the Banshees to the north. The Roaches are having a hard time dealing with Marines to the south. Well, actually not too bad. Those Marines lacking combat shield is quite unfortunate for them. That's going to finish up momentarily, but a little bit late. The tanks still are big, as they always are in these bot games, so EvilZoe taking some losses. Supply is down for the blue Zerg, and while the Hydras have got good upgrades, the tanks are still going to be really problematic here, as their count is currently at 5. Pushing towards the space. Pretty much all the Bile, all the Banshees got killed, or at least sent home. But the tanks still remain. That might not be for long, though, as we see EvilZoe collapse on top of this army. Kills off another tank. And so it looks like a successful hold for EvilZoe. It's now getting to that stage, doing the thing that it's so famous for. Ling's looking for some harassment on MicroMachine. This is part of the reason why I was excited to cast this match. It's because these two bots are so darn good at harassing. EvilZoe is incredibly tenacious with its Lings. I wanted to see how much success they actually have, though, against a bot like MicroMachine, which has good defense, and we do see good defense there. The Terran bot is all of a sudden on 4 bases, with a 5th going on up. That's just insane. MicroMachine's macro is nothing to sleep on. It's so darn good. We are seeing a battle cruiser on the way now, and EvilZoe could be in a bit of trouble. Like, it's got its own great economy. It's going for an attack now. That's actually really important, I think, as MicroMachine is just powering up, going Super Saiyan. Hydras are being chased back by the Banshees, even though there is an Overseer. There's just a bit too much Terran. I think that was an okay trade for EvilZoe, though, as it's still got a significant supply lead. We are seeing some more Lings go on in. They are going to find this building command center. That's really darn nice. They kill the SCV. I guess that's what they're programmed to do in this situation. They're now going to find SCVs at the third base. We'll see if any of this harassment can actually be effective enough to really bring MicroMachine down. That's the thing. A bot will just replace the workers as soon as they die, whereas a human may get a bit distracted. So multitasking isn't as powerful, but I mean, EvilZoe is still pulling MicroMachine back. Looking at that supply, it's maxed out, so it's ready to go for another attack to try and break this Terran. 3-3's on the way. So, I mean, it's not going to be horrible if the game does go on for EvilZoe, but man, what a match this is between these two. Hydra's engaging by themselves without the Ling support. A lot of the Lings are to the south here, and so the tanks are still doing work once more. Oh, the tanks being problematic as always. Lings are getting some SCVs. They force that command center to lift off. Some of the Lings are running around the natural base. The overall attack, I think, has been held by MicroMachine. A couple of Hydras are coming on in, but these tanks are so problematic. Looks like we do see a Neural Parasite on one of the tanks. It kills the commander. That tank had 43 kills, but it is now dead. It's now an enemy. It looks like that Neural Parasite will end, though, so that tank will be allowed to go back to its own team. Lings are still harassing at the 5th base, though. It's quite incredible that mining at this base has been denied, really. A 6th base attempt being shut down as well. You got to give it to MicroMachine for just always building more bases, and give it up to EvilZoe for being able to harass so darn much. In comes the Zerg once more. If we see EvilZoe at 200 supply, it's going to be attacking, forcing a cancel on that base. 3-3 is just about done. The armor's done at least. Neural Parasite goes down on a battle cruiser. That's now an enemy. We'll see if the Hydras pick that off, or if it's going to get a chance to escape or not. We shall see. Teleport is being utilized just to expire that, teleporting it onto itself. So Hydras can deal with that, but I'm not sure that's actually enough Hydras. So the BC may survive. More Hydras are fighting another battle cruiser to the south. They will get it. This one other BC needs to be repaired. These Hydras are so problematic. MicroMachine is barely hanging on at 150 supply. Lings are harassing. another base of MicroMachine hurting its economy. This gold base is gone. This base that was attempted to be built never happened. It's incredible that EvilZoe is able to attack enough to actually get economic damage done to a significant degree that MicroMachine's having a hard time keeping up. Its supplies weak. Its income is very weak compared to that of EvilZoe, which is mining off its own gold base. Well, still for a little bit longer, but then with plenty of bases to spare, down to 56 workers. Not able to maintain these 4 bases. It's being attacked so darn much. MicroMachine, I think, maybe falling here to EvilZoe, as these attacks are just a bit too much. This game was super duper close, I think. If MicroMachine was able to get up like another 10, 20 supply or something, I think it starts taking much better trades. Yamato Cannon kills an Overseer. Battlecruiser teleports on back to the main base to be repaired, but with the 4th base gone, the economy of MicroMachine will not keep up here. I don't think. EvilZoe staying maxed out, just attacking, and this 3rd base is in trouble, and if this 3rd base falls, that is 100% lights out for EvilZoe. The 3-3 upgrades really showing how much damage these Hydras do. Yamato Cannon kills an Overseer. There is a tank at the back, but EvilZoe showing us once again that it is an incredibly well-rounded bot. Remember how this game started? That it just goes to show how awesome both these bots are, that they can come back, build up, play macro after being down to, I don't know, like 5 workers or something like that. So it really is impressive. MicroMachine's late game is one of my favorite things. I think we had a bit of a cool graphic there. The dead Banshee being lifted up by that starport. I don't know if anyone saw that. That's what it looked like. And yeah, if you guys made it to the end of this video, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed but you watch to the end, you can click that bell icon to get notified whenever I put up new videos. I'm trying to get as many of those going before, or get as many done before I go away for training at my new job. I may bring my laptop, but I'm not sure. I definitely won't have my good microphone anyway, so if I cast, it would probably sound like I'd be talking through a paper bag or something. Yeah. Battlecruiser hits a Yamato Cannon. Hydra's gonna go for the final kill. If you guys do want to support this content, consider becoming a YouTube member. This was a fantastic match. That 1 starport is allowed to live. MicroMachine says we can rebuild. Unfortunately not. GG.